you're listening to Sam and Em Solve the World's Problems.
We have a lot of problems.
Speak for yourself, Em.
Rude. In today's episode, we're going to talk about us and how we know each other and what we do with our lives.
Yeah, it's our very first podcast attempt, so we're so excited to be sitting here with you and telling you a little bit about ourselves and why we wanted to start this podcast in the first place.
Yeah, listen along if you want to know more about us, how we're friends, why we know each other, and we've got a couple of little really fun facts in there for you.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Fun facts.
Yeah, so this episode's going to get real about our personal lives.
Should be fun.
Join us as we become better people, hopefully. Hi.
Hey. Welcome to Sam and Em Solve the World's Problems.
Thanks.
We're your
Honoured to be here.
Thanks for joining me, Em. We're your hosts. I'm Sam.
I'm Em.
And we have created this podcast. This is kind of an elaborate ruse so that we can get people in the same room, or probably mostly at this stage not in the same room, but so that we can chat to some of our favourite people. And I guess this is an excuse so that we can have some of our favourite conversations with our favourite people.
Yeah.
Why are we launching a podcast right now?
That's a good question.
First of all, I just want to say this was entirely your idea.
Yeah, and I have absolutely no regrets. I feel like we've needed to do this for such a long time. I'm so excited to, honestly, just to talk to everybody and pick their brains, and they're just going to be such awesome guests. I can't wait to hear what they have to say about all the things that I'm too uneducated to have opinions on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're both, we're not old.
No, I'm 21.
Yeah, I'm 24. I'll be 25 in a few weeks. Which, yeah, it's an awkward time in anyone's life, I think. And it's definitely not an age group that I think a lot of people go for sources of information or opinions.
We won't be going to us for sources of information.
Yeah,
we'll be going to others.
Yeah, I think the idea is going to be, let's find qualified people to talk to on a range of topics that we're interested in.
Yeah.
And hopefully there'll be an audience there that will also be interested in those topics.
Yeah, and a little bit of background about us. We both have known each other for forever and have grown up in the same church. And because of that, we are very privileged to know some incredible people that are a lot older than we are and have a lot more to say about things than we do. And we get to talk to them and pick their brains all the time. And I don't think it's fair that we keep that to ourselves. I'm really excited to share that and ask questions that people might be too afraid to ask people and have that out in the world.
Yeah, we have a lot to learn and we're interested to find out. And so, yeah. But we have a great lineup of people in our heads that we already are so excited to
haven't
talk
asked
to.
a single one of them yet, but I hope they all say
we'll
yes.
rope them in.
They will. It's Community of Christ. They'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just excited to have the conversations that I wish that I could hear every day be available to people every day.
And I'm also excited to have these conversations with...
Oh, God.
No, leave it in. It's organic. No, but I also am excited to have these conversations with these people, with you as my co-host, Emily. Because, I think that you're a very generous host, and I think you have a lot of good questions that you think of that are going to inspire some good conversations. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you too. We have very similar brains, and we have done things like this often together before, so it's not a totally new experience to be interviewing people. We've run like little variety shows to hundreds of people
Do you think
on
it's
hours of sleep.
Yeah, and not that we have to justify why we want to do this either, but do you think it's because we're young? We're we can interview guys, trust us.
Yeah.
Maybe we can't.
Interviewing is like a niche skill. I feel like not a lot of people have the patience and the actual curiosity to ask people questions that are interesting. Whereas I feel like we also, as much as we're similar, we also take conversations in different paths, which is probably a great thing for something like this, that we'll both want to explore different things, and we'll get to do that and provide like a much bigger conversation as a whole.
Yeah, and speaking of taking conversations in different paths, So, welcome to our very first interview, and it's going to be us interviewing each other.
Woo-woo!
Get excited.
It'll probably be the only time we do this, because we don't want to waste precious time with other people, but
I think it's going to be interesting too, because I feel like I know you really well. I'm
Yeah.
excited to find out if I can find out things I don't know about you.
Okay, well, let's make that the game. Find out something you don't know.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to start because I'm already talking.
Okay. I mean, I'm technically talking now, so if I just say a question, how was your week, Sam?
Damn.
Food.
Yeah, no, my week has been blending together for however long this quarantine's been going. I feel like we're coming towards a pointy end, but we never really know.
Yeah.
I think it's been, what, 8 weeks? 3
I
months?
feel like it started like the
2 months?
14th of March, so we're almost at over 2 months, I
Okay.
think.
Anyway, that's felt like a week to me. It's just flown by, because all the days have melded together for me. I've been sticking to like a really good schedule, I think. I've been managing to keep my fitness up, which has helped me keep my mental fitness up, I think. Because yeah, I'm working from home. Just like I have a job where I just sit at a desk all day. And so, yeah, I need any kind of routine that will help me.
Yeah, you
stay
seem
sane.
like you're in a really good routine. I mean, we can't do anything until like 8 o'clock on weeknights so that you can get all your routine in. So
Yeah, well, I literally roll out of my bed and sit in my work chair at 8 a.m. and then I work until 4 o'clock. And as soon as that ends, I have a friend who I work out with for about an hour or so. And then from there I have dinner. And so by that time it becomes 7 or 8 o'clock, and that's just every day, and it blends together. So yeah, it's starting to get real boring, to be honest.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I need to keep that routine. How has your experience been so far?
Yeah, it's been similar. I am doing uni from home. I lost both of my jobs, so I'm on the government subsidies, which is the best thing that's ever happened to me because I get paid to do my uni work basically, and it's awesome. But I'm not as structured as that. Like I'm finally sort of slipping into routine of like I'll either go for a walk in the morning or I'll do some yoga before I try to like sit down at my desk, and then basically just try and work until like 4, 5-ish. When it starts to get dark, my brain switches off, so then I try to do my like heavy exercise of weights or something like that, and then have dinner. And my family's been watching Game of Thrones, so 2 episodes a night, and then I go to bed. So
Yeah,
it's
nice.
been pretty structured, but I'd have days where I can't get anything done, and then days where I get a lot of
Yeah.
stuff done. And
How does that impact you, like, mentally? Like, do you think that has a significant impact? Today I felt like I got nothing done, and even though I still got things done, I felt like I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, and I was in like just the worst state of mind because of that. Does that affect you as well?
it's probably the opposite for me in that like when I'm already in a bad state of mind, I don't get anything done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I was in a real big slump on Saturday, and I didn't get anything done, and I had to force myself on Sunday to wake up with a better attitude and try to get everything done. And I did, and I felt better because of it, but I think the fact that I was in a bad mood before I tried to get anything done
It's like a
impacted how
cycle.
much.
Vicious
Yeah.
cycle.
I mean, everybody feels a bit crap when they are unproductive. But I read this thing that was like, you just have to do one thing towards your goal each day. Like literally like one push-up or one sentence or one
Yeah.
thing. Just do one little thing each day towards
That's
your
some
goal.
really good advice for me personally, so I appreciate you saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean,
I needed to hear that because that's something that I can work on.
yeah, it's a really nice sentiment. I don't know that it always like helps me because like as a very overcommitted, driven, likes to be 1,000% busy all the time person, like one push up isn't really enough, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, but that
Trying to
starts.
implement
It's
that,
always
yeah.
starting, I think, that's the hardest. And that's the same with anything. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been interesting. It feels like the longest time ever. I don't know what I'm feeling when I'm feeling it. I'm normally a person who tries to analyze my thoughts and
You're
feelings
very
before I even
self-aware.
feel them. Yeah.
I feel like I can hear you thinking right now as well.
Yeah. But I just
Yeah.
can't figure out whether I'm happy about isolation, whether I'm finally starting to go stir crazy, whether I
Yeah.
want to go back to normal. I just don't know where
Yeah.
I stand on any of those things.
Well, to sum up, it sounds like we're kind of keeping ourselves sane with an element of routine, but at the same time, it's hard to understand
Yeah.
how we're feeling. I think we're both a bit similar with that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
one day I'll be feeling great. I'll be like, I've worked out 7 days in a row.
I'm growling because we do Apple Watch competitions and he beats me all the time except for last week. It was the best thing ever. Continue.
Yeah, so I feel like some days I feel like I'm doing really well with that, but then I'll do some, like with work, I won't get something done that I will have wanted to get done, and then I'll get really upset over the dumbest thing, and then,
Yeah.
I think, I think as well today, I didn't have a human conversation really until like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Because some days I'll be full of meetings for work, and then some days, like, yeah. So, I think maybe I just went a bit crazy.
Yeah. I don't envy the people who live alone or wouldn't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, that's how our weeks have been. I know that you've been, like, really excited to tell me about a fun fact.
Okay, now I'm doubting how fun this fact is. It's probably not that fun.
Well, I think that anything that needs to be described as fun probably isn't.
It's not that fun. It's just like, you know, when in uni, when people are like, oh my god, we're going to go around the circle and everyone has to say a fun fact about themselves. I was expecting that this semester.
Yeah.
And none of my classes did it. So I've just had this fun fact stored up because nobody asked me.
Please tell me about your pent-up fun fact.
It's not even that fun. It's just like something nobody would know about me or guess, except that lots of people know about me.
Okay.
I am a priest. And I think that's pretty fun. Oh. And I was waiting. I go to a Catholic uni and I was like waiting to drop that bomb on everybody. Yeah. And
do you think people would like be like really surprised?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess like I say it to people who aren't from our church, and they're like, so what, you a man and you're never going to have children and like you're going to live in a...
because I guess, what is a priest? Like how is it that you're a priest? Am
I launching into this explanation?
Yeah.
Okay,
please,
well, Community of Christ have like 8 or 9, I'm probably getting that number wrong, it's really embarrassing, but a bunch of different like types of priesthood, and there's like...
Is that normal in a lot of churches? Do you know?
I have no idea. I don't think so. I've not heard of like... I don't know. I don't go into theology of a lot of different churches. I'm not even very across ours.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. But basically they have like sort of 2 levels of priesthood, even though they're not leveled officially. They have like 3 of the like more basic kind of entry level priesthood ones, and then some of the higher up ones, like, you know, prophet, president, and all those kinds of things. But so the entry level ones are deacon, teacher, and priest, and I was called to the priesthood. So
how does that work? How do you get called?
Well, your pastor like asks you if you're interested in becoming this priesthood member, and then you sort of, I mean, a lot of people like tell the story that they didn't think they were, and they went through this whole mental anguish. Yeah. I knew that I was ready. I had been waiting for the call for a long time.
Yeah.
And so it was a pretty instantaneous yes. And basically the congregation then goes through a period of like business meetings and discusses it, and then you go through training, which is just like 3 sort of short courses on scripture and then what your priesthood office is actually for. And then you have your ordination. So my ordination was last December. And hence I've been waiting to say this fun fact at university for a whole semester, and it just hasn't happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's...
So what do you do as a priest? Like, what does it mean?
Well, a priest, the official, like, role of the priest is to model Jesus as friend, which basically is, like, advocating for all the different members of your congregation. It's a congregational priest, so you're focused on the people within your congregation rather than...
So the people within, like, your church building.
Yeah, the ones who come to the building, yeah. So yeah, I'm supposed to advocate for people and look out for people, make sure everyone's included.
Okay. Sort
of that kind of role. And then I can perform a couple of sacraments, which is fun. I haven't really done that. But
sacraments like communion and
I've served communion. I can baptize.
Marriage?
I can ordain other priests, I think. Deacons and teachers definitely, maybe priests. And I can marry people.
You can marry them, that's dope.
So yeah. I'm definitely not going to do that for a long time, but
yeah,
I can, so that's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's...
No, that's a pretty cool fact. Especially, I would expect that to come up more at a Catholic university that you're going to.
Yeah. I mean, the most conversations I have about it are actually at work, because a lot of those people like saw me post on my Instagram and didn't even know that I was religious at all, and that's honestly like one of my favorite. As much as the conversation is getting a bit old, I love having that conversation of people being like, but like, you don't seem like a priest and I didn't even know you're religious. It's like, well, actually I'm a cool mom. Like, it's a fun conversation to try and explain, and then people can go like, oh.
Because if your definition of priest was, what was it?
Fat old man.
No, Jesus as friend.
Oh, Jesus as friend. Yeah. So like being
modeling
with people and being their friend and like being there with them on their journeys, which is like...
It's kind of just being a good person.
Yeah. It really is. And It's awesome. I am very glad that was the priesthood office that I got called to. I like it.
Yeah, well, that sounds like you very much embody that position as well. And you talked about going to a Catholic university. What are you studying?
Yeah, I'm doing a double degree of arts and media and communications, majoring in theatre and film and screen production. So, that's a lot of words, but it's fun. I like it. It's the second degree I have attempted, and I'm enjoying it. And I will finish this one. I did international studies for a year, then took a year off, and then tried to do performing arts and get into like WAPA and NIDA and stuff. Did one audition round, didn't make it.
They're like super elite performing arts.
Yeah,
schools.
so I never expected to make it that round, but then I kind of changed my mind. Like I just didn't feel worth it, so I am doing this, which I feel like has opened up a lot more doors already because I have a lot more interests now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I went to uni once as well.
Yeah, what did you study?
I did an arts degree. I was studying media. I dropped out after 1 year, but then it's funny, we had the similar starting path, but then I never went back.
Yeah. You might still.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know about that, but I did, so instead of then staying here and going back to another university degree, I travelled overseas and I did that whole thing.
Where did you go? How long were you gone?
I was gone for about 18 months.
Ugh, it was rough.
Yeah. It was a really great experience and I don't regret it at all. I definitely learnt a lot. I travelled with my brother and we lived on two different sides of Canada for over 6 months each and travelled the US, and so I learnt a lot on that trip. And then I came back and I was like, man, I really wish I knew who I was. Because that, I don't know, I guess traveling didn't really help with that at all. You kind of think, I don't know, your 20s is weird. What I'm really frustrated with about it is that I feel like I want to use, like, my young self in the best way possible, but, like, I don't have any of the knowledge that I don't know. I guess it's one of those old people sayings, like, when they're like, youth don't know how to spend their youth kind of thing.
Yeah.
I hate that I feel like I'm wasting it, but I also want to live in the moment at the same time. So I'm currently, I don't know. Classic 20s drama, So I'm currently just working at a job. It's an office job. It's like a corporate kind of thing. And just kind of coasting.
Fair enough. What is your fun fact now that I have been finally forced to reveal mine?
I don't have any fun facts.
I warned you like 10 minutes ago this was coming.
Yeah, I know, but I don't... maybe I'll have something by the end.
Okay, we'll come back. Okay, so we've done background on like ourselves as individuals, but like, tell me something I don't know. How long have we known each other, Sam?
Forever, honestly.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally forever.
What was it that, my mum was
Best man.
dad's best man.
Yeah, best man at my dad's, my mum and dad's wedding.
Yeah.
So we have literally known each other, like, our whole entire lives.
Yeah, it's kind of like being, like, related, like cousins or brother and sister, except without the, I don't know.
Actual blood.
Yeah.
It's like
but
fake,
also,
I say fake cousins.
I was going to say without, like, all the bad sides, like, a lot of the bad stuff, because we're
like
not together for long enough.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
One of my favourite things about, like, working with you in particular is I can make you do your famous eye roll. It's one of my favourite things. But I feel like I've never been able to build it up enough that you will, like, proper despise me.
Some camps we get there.
Okay, maybe, but, like...
Yeah. We are usually in very close proximity at like youth camps and kids camps and family camps, and we do a lot of work together at like 3 a.m. getting stuff ready to run like talk shows and stuff, and we have become unfriendly in the past. Remember
no, for sure,
the year that Courtney and Will weren't there, we were literally fighting like every single day. I've never fought with you ever.
Yeah, it's good to have it's good to have a buffer. But no, I think what I mean is like with your close siblings that you live with, you can get to the point where you're arguing about absolutely nothing. Yeah. And like there's just like this vitriol there. And
whereas we can distance each other.
Yeah, there's always been that kind of... So I feel like mostly it's been perks, but of course...
That's why I say like fake cousins rather than like siblings, because like, I don't know. I don't have any family in Sydney, so like you guys, your family is my family in Sydney,
Yeah.
and I don't see you all the time. It's like
Chosen family's
cousin.
better family.
I mean, I like my family. They just
Yeah,
live
no.
in Perth.
No, I know, but yeah. Anyway.
Yes, true. Okay, well, we touched on the fact that we've done camps and stuff together.
Yes. Yeah, no, we've worked a lot together on projects in the past, and yeah, as you said, we've stayed up really late nights on like delirious writing sessions.
Yeah.
Some of the favorite things that we've written have been completely like hilarious to us, and then there'll be a major flaw in it.
Okay, like, for example, I don't know if this was we've talked about this already, but we wrote this drama at a camp one time, and it was called Hermione Weaselfoy. If you can just imagine where
Just
that's
the
from.
name.
Yeah, it's great quality.
Beautiful.
We wrote it we didn't pre-write it. We wrote it at like 2 a.m. each night for the next day. And one day, it was probably like day 4 of a 5-day camp. And so we were real tired by this point.
And I think as well, some backstory to this, like the reason that this in particular was in such shambles is because a lot of things leading up to this camp.
Oh, I wasn't
fell
even
apart.
supposed to work with you
No,
on
we
this.
weren't even supposed to be writing this at this
Yeah.
point, but we had to like
A bunch of
scrounge
people
together.
dropped out. There just wasn't as many leaders
and
and
we were
people.
filling
and
in a lot of gaps.
I
And
wasn't
so-
even I wasn't a leader. I wasn't supposed to be doing anything, and
So-
I ended up running this morning show with you.
And so it was a really high pressure situation to write something out of nothing. And
But anyway, the point is, we wrote this whole skit that was based on the premise that Moaning Myrtle was the starring character. And we wrote all these jokes about, like, her being flushed down the toilet and the fact that she was a ghost and people couldn't see her and all this kind of stuff. And not once did we actually mention that it was Moaning Myrtle. So the kids performed it, and
like-
as they're performing it, we realised that they
Like,
have no idea
oh
who
my
they
God.
are. I don't even
None of
think
this
the
makes
kid
any
knew
sense at
that
all.
they
No.
were Moaning Myrtle.
I don't think we ever told them.
No. So we're
There's, like,
pissing
the
ourselves
most
laughing.
Key piece
Of information,
of
yeah.
exposition for this storyline.
And nobody knew that it was Moaning Myrtle. But to this
Oh.
day, it was probably one of our finest pieces of writing.
But I think as well, that's one of the learning experiences which has brought us to now.
Yeah,
and I
get
think
someone
that
to proofread.
we're better people because of it. And
Yeah, that was a real learning curve, that camp.
oh my god. Yeah. So we've so we've probably written for how many shows over the years, let alone segments.
We've done
and-
3 together,
yeah,
I think. I've done one by myself,
I would have done.
and you've done a couple with other
Yeah.
people / by yourself.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
we've written some absolute gold and some absolute trash.
Mostly trash. But yeah,
sorry, gold is like
gold
with
nuggets.
an asterisk.
Yeah.
With terms and conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that show that we talk about is kind of like a little variety show each morning to get everyone like hyped up, but we also like bring on guests and interview different people and ask them questions about
It's
things
always my
that they
favourite part.
Yeah, but that's kind of why we wanted to do this podcast, because we have interviewed people in the past and we have like sort
Yeah.
of background in that, and that's
But also,
yeah.
I'm excited for us to develop our skills further.
Oh,
and
yeah.
this is an excuse to do that. And so, yeah, I'm excited to... Again, we keep talking about how excited we are to talk to these people. You'll find out why.
Because they're awesome.
Yeah.
And we have very similar brains and are very like capable of taking criticism. I feel like that's where we work well together.
That's my favourite thing is...
Yeah.
I think taking criticism as well. There's like a difference between being able to take criticism. I don't know. I think you do have to have a close relationship with someone. There might be a reason that we specifically work well together with that. I don't know.
I feel like we're both capable of like putting the project above our relationship. Like,
yeah, and
if you say, that was shit, I'm never going to be like, oh my god, I'm a horrible person. I'm just like, oh, okay, that
yeah,
thing
and
that I
believe me,
did
that
was...
was shit when
Yeah.
you did that. Yeah,
Rude.
Yeah, no, I think that's why we work really well together.
Okay, we're going to do recommendations and goals also.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what's a recommendation you have for people listening for the next week ahead?
Okay, so something that I've really been enjoying during, I might add, we're in quarantine right now. Something that I've really enjoyed doing is late night walks. It's started to get really cold here where we are. Well, cold compared to what we're used to.
Yeah.
And I've really enjoyed rugging up in a hoodie and then I'll walk like a kilometre at night. I understand that not everyone can...
Yeah,
probably,
I'm not advising that. I'm not condoning this, but
in my neighbourhood, it's
bring a
been-
buddy.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it doesn't have to be late at night either. I just personally have enjoyed that. I really like the night air. But yeah, it's something as simple as that. I don't know why, it's just kind of cleared my head. It's been really nice at the end of the day. But yeah, it seems like it's the most trivial thing, and I feel like everyone's doing that, but it's, I couldn't tell you why, but I recommend it.
Yeah. That's one of those things, it's like everybody's doing them, but nobody normally does them, so like, wonder how many people will keep going for walks when like quarantine ends. Be good.
I feel like I might continue to have it incorporate into my day, but hard to say. We'll see what happens. So what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is in essence, it's doing yoga. I started doing yoga in this isolation practice, having never done it before. I've just been following YouTube videos, and the goal is to do yoga. However, because I'm not very good at yoga, I make myself feel better about it by doing it outside where my dogs can attack me at any moment. And so they interrupt my yoga pretty much all the time, which is probably annoying for people who really are good at yoga. But for me, when they interrupt, it's great because I was probably getting sore from being in the position anyway. Yeah. And also I just like cuddling my dogs. So that's my recommendation, is do yoga with your dogs if you have dogs. And if you don't, get one. Because they're great.
Can I say, like, without knowing that you were going to say that, I did yoga for the first time this week.
It's so good.
I felt kind of dumb at the beginning, and by the end, we were flailing our arms around, and I was like, what is going on? But I did feel better.
Yeah, it's a really nice, I started with this, like, 30-minute ones that were really hard, and, like, they were really good, but they just were, like, hard positions.
So you just, like, look up a YouTube video? And
well,
I think I did something called Finding the Joy.
Oh, was it Yoga with Adrienne? Because that's what I've been doing, and she's the best. I moved onto her stuff because it's just so calming and comforting and like a hug. And even when she gets a little weird, she has a dog, which makes me think that like it's allowed.
Also, we're not paid by her.
No,
in any way. We just genuinely,
yeah. She's just really good. And if you're looking to start yoga but don't know where to start, she's great. Got lots of adaptations.
What's her name again?
Yoga with Adrienne.
It's like Adrienne.
Probably an American thing. Adrienne, I don't know. Something like that. Adrienne.
Yeah.
She's got a dog. It's great.
And you can sign up now for $30 off your first purchase.
Oh god, is this our first promotion?
No, it is not.
Okay. Goal for next week.
My goal for next week.
This week, kind of. It's Monday.
Yeah, sorry. We're recording this on a Monday, and I guess my goal for this week is going to be to get that thing done at work that I've been trying to get done. Yeah.
That's fair. Mine is going to be very similar. I have a lot of assignments done.
Sorry. Not get it done. I'm going to start it.
Okay.
I'm going to do one thing towards it.
Is it a big project, or is this just a small
big,
goal?
But it's a big goal, so I just want to start. Okay. I want to do a thing of it each day. So like what you said originally.
Oh yeah, that you need to do at least one sentence,
I'm just going to open the file and put something in it, you know.
Yes, great. I am also in that vein, I have 3 assignments due next week. However, mine can't be quite as soft as just starting because they are due on Monday. So I will be getting 3 assignments done by Monday, and that's all I have the focus to do with my goals. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, if you did. Thank you so much, listener.
Thank you, individual listener. We really value your time. We really do. That sounds so facetious. Is that the word I want?
Yeah. No, we do. Like, I hope that you might have got something out of us. Maybe you haven't ever heard of us or met us. I'm guessing that
most people probably have.
Yeah. If you're listening to this episode, then you probably already know who we are.
So thank you, Mum, for listening. It's hard to think that there'll actually be people listening to this that if you don't know us, I don't know if we're going to have a comment box or something, but like comment. I don't know.
In the future, what I want, well, if this goes successfully, if our plan kind of works out, at least we have some kind of decent audience by the end of this. They may listen back through and get to this one. So this is probably, the quality has generally degraded as you've listened to each conversation.
Also, just had a thought. We should have each week when we actually have people on, listeners should comment a problem that they want us to solve, at the end, a little problem, I can't decide between chocolate and vanilla ice cream kind of problem that we can then solve.
Yes, I love it.
Also, if that is your problem, it's always chocolate. Vanilla is a waste of time. Just saying.
I literally just finished my vanilla rice pudding and I take personal offense to that.
Okay, I love those vanilla rice puddings, but vanilla is like the worst. Like, it's not the worst flavour. It's just like, okay, I'm lactose intolerant, and if I ever have to choose ice cream, no, but it's not even a good flavour. Like, it's just not worth it on any account. Chocolate is always the go-to. Okay.
I don't know why I feel personally attacked.
I eat those too, I agree, but like chocolate. If they came in chocolate, I would pick the chocolate one.
Yeah, vanilla's better.
Anyway.
Time and place. Depends on the context, but yeah, vanilla's usually better.
No. But thank you for listening. If you have, obviously you have, if you've made it to this point. Yeah, next week we're gonna have one of our favourite people ever on the show. I'm genuinely like...
Oh, Amy should draw them in. Like, you guys. I'm so excited.
No, for real.
No, but
talking to this person is the entire reason that I want to do the podcast. Like, if this podcast could just be her talking to me, I would want that forever. Like, I just want her to talk to me and solve my issues and give me book recommendations and just, like, narrate my life because she's the best person.
She's a beautiful person and, yeah, we're both very much looking forward to talking to her.
Yeah.
We have had conversations with this person that have lasted hours, so it's going to be hard to condense it down.
Our first time that we ever met her, we were in Tahiti. We both went up to her and said, "Hey, would you trust us with your..."
Sorry, we were just in Tahiti.
Oh, we were in Tahiti. Long story. We'll talk about that another time. But we both ran up to her and we just said, "Hey, would you trust us with your children?" And she went, "Absolutely not." And we went, "Great. Can you tell us why?" And we talked to her for 2 hours. And that's how we became friends.
And then by the end of the conversation, did she trust us? Maybe she trusted you.
No, but by the end of the year she did. She wrote me a very lovely letter.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Well, I can't wait to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Definitely listen to that. If you listen to any episode, listen to that episode because it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Love it. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Sam and M Solve the World's Problems, please subscribe, leave us a great review, and follow us on our social media at Sam and M Have Problems. And please send us in any problems that you might have that you want us to solve. Our music is by a local Sydney band, The Vinyl Press, and the song is called Outside.